song.
New song from what?
YBC 5.
YBC 5. 1 second. YBC has a 5th album? Since when? Hang on a second. That's it. I gotta call up Eli Gerstner. My cell phone number even?
No need to call.
Oh,
You're a great actor, sir.
Oh, we actually have Eli Gerstner here with us, joining us here with COLive. On
How you doing, Mr. Sofer?
we have
How's
all
everybody doing over
we
here?
have all the Lubavitch actors over here with us, COLive, and we have Eli Gerstner for the release of the brand new Yeshiva Boys Choir 5th album, Hanukkah album. COLive.com here with Eli Gerstner, celebrating the release of Yeshiva Boys Choir 5th album, the Hanukkah album. Eli, tell us why a Hanukkah album?
Hanukkah album.
Yeah.
Okay. We always, you go into a store, into a farm store, Hanukkah time, and the first thing that you see is, all of the Hanukkah albums, the new Hanukkah releases that came out, not necessarily about Hanukkah, but everybody always tries to get it after Hanukkah because everybody wants to go to the stores and buy nice Jewish music, nice CDs. So we always have that deadline in order to get it after Hanukkah. And then when you go and see
Last year you had YBC Live 3 out for Hanukkah.
Right. And when we go to this, we want a Hanukkah album. We buy whatever, and it's always I guess we call it a side project.
Yeah.
Always, people don't put the money and the effort into it because they say it's another Yontif album, it's a side project, whatever it is.
It's not going as big as either of the rest of them.
Right. We felt, that we're going to put out a CD that is going to be, the best songs that we can find, the best arrangements that we can find, the best production that we can do, and put it out as YBC 5. This isn't a side thing or done with a little keyboard. This is completely, fully produced. Just as much money was put in, just as much time was put in, if not more, for this project, and it's and that for that alone, I just wanted a Hanukkah album that we could be proud of, that we can go back to, that will be the top that possibly can be.
Tell us about what this album entails. What's inside this album? What are people going to see? There's a lot of Hanukkah albums out in the store right now. There's a lot of, there's going to be more after this. What makes YBC 5 Hanukkah album unique and special from any other Hanukkah album that's out there right now?
Okay, well, again, the first thing is the songs on this album. There are songs on this album that literally was written. There's a song, Al Anisim, on this album that I wrote when I was learning in Israel, I don't know, like 15 years ago. And it was a song that only Hanukkah could bring. Hanukkah brings a certain excitement and happiness that obviously no other Yom Tov can bring. And I wrote my best stuff, Hanukkah time, I'm sure other composers have written their best stuff. And it's just like a shame to put like an Al Anisim or Yevanim or something like that on a regular CD. It's going to get lost. Mm-hmm. It's an Al Anisim on the CD, so we'll just ignore it, So I kept saying, okay, one day, we'll put it. Then the next year, another song, until we had a group of songs, I would say like about 15, 20, whatever, a lot of songs that were all written for Hanukkah and about Hanukkah, but they ended up being like the best songs that I've ever written, So we finally said, okay, we're gonna save it until we can actually put out an album that's like that. But this album turned out to be much more than just a Hanukkah album, not a regular Hanukkah album. It really did. Originally, it was not going to be called YBC 5. Originally, it was going to be called the Yeshiva Boys Choir Hanukkah. Yeah. It just turned into this project that we felt that was just, if not as good as production or not as good, even better than our first 4 YBC albums. And there are, of course, songs on it that is for around the whole year, not just for Hanukkah. There's a song. The first song on the album is a song called Mizmar Shir Chanukah Sabayis, which, of course, is a song that I wrote when I moved into a new house, Chanukah Sabayis, and at the same time, it's a Kapitel Tehillim that we do say on Hanukkah. And we can sing that all year round. And there's a song, Shechianu, which was really written for a Yom, for anything. Whenever you say Shechianu, the word Simon is in there. You sing it like for Bar Mitzvah when it's stuff like that. At the same time, you say it when you light the menorah, the first night. So there's stuff like that. There's of course the hit song on the album, Mitzvah Shem, that I personally get goosebumps every time. Country Yossi wrote the lyrics to this song.
You have 2 English songs on this album. You haven't had that on your last album. You haven't had that out. I think the last time you had that was the third album.
Yeah, yeah.
About Eretz Israel, you had one song.
The thing about English songs in general is that, you know, we didn't want to write on the first CD, the second CD, we didn't put an English song. And people kept saying, oh, well, let's go. She was choir. Come on, you can't come up with an English song. It's like, no, we couldn't come up with it. Everything's been said already. We talked about every topic. There's only 2 or 3 topics that we could talk about, and that's the topics, and we covered it. So, like, I'm just gonna redo it again. You know, there's nothing to it. And then the Gush Katif story happened.
So then you had a reason.
It was like I was watching it like everybody else was, online, and we were seeing all this stuff and all the images of the soldiers and the people getting thrown out of the house, and it really just brought up so much emotion that I wrote the song. Like, that was it. There was nothing to talk about. The song had to be written, and it was the perfect time to put it out. And Baruch Hashem, it's still one of our biggest hits that we've done. So when YBC 4 came out, we're like, okay, so what are we going to write about this time?
So you left it blank.
And it was the same thing. What are we going to do? Write about the same things all over again? We're not going to do that. And to live up to, in a song, that YBC 3 song, it just felt it was...
so now you
then
came
the Hanukkah thing happened.
Now you have a reason.
So you know what? And then a storyline popped up in my head of something that can be, something that we can hear all year round. And at the same time, it's sort of very emotional. And I went to the master storyteller, Country Yossi, who's completely underrated because people don't realize, people don't go to him for lyrics, and I still have no idea why. When you hear this song,
he has some of the best ones out there.
When you hear a song like Deaf Man in a Stiebel,
these are classics.
And then you hit the punchline of, first time my father heard me pray, like, you have to be, if you're not human if you don't well up in tears. It hits you in a certain way. And I came up with this storyline that was a very emotional storyline about a son waiting for a father to come home, and it was, and it happened to have taken place on Hanukkah. So that's why we could put it on a Hanukkah CD. But in reality, the storyline is still very emotional, and nobody writes that like Country Yossi, and he really nailed it completely. It was an amazing way he's told the story, and my brother Yaakov Mordechai sang this song by himself, and he brought a certain emotion to it. He literally, as he was singing the words, he was emotional, and you can hear it when you listen to this song. You'll hear that, and hundreds of hours later, after mixing it and a million
you actually have
times.
two English songs on this album.
We'll talk to the next one. But I'm saying this particular song, usually by the time I finish the project, I can't wait just to release it to the world and then never hear it again. Because it's so many hours of listening to them over and over again. This particular song is very, very unique in that I can't stop listening to it. And it's something that I can't wait for everybody to hear. The other English song is a song called Those Were the Nights. Those Were the Nights of Hanukkah. And that's a funny song. Again, typical Country Yossi. He writes this, the song about when he remembers from his bubby's house, and it's, all the wild stories that he had, whether it's that the latkes were burning and everything was going on, and in typical form that he does, and it's really funny. And again, the kids couldn't even get through it. The kids were singing it and laughing the whole time. The soloists I'm talking about, when they're singing the actual words of the lyrics of the verse, and it's hysterical, and we can't wait to put that out as well.
So we have COL Chabad Online. Maybe you can share with us. I think it's very little known what a connection you and your family share with Chabad Lubavitch.
Oh. Well, of course, my mother's family is Chabad. She went to Beis Rivka. What else? I guess my uncle that I'm sure everybody knows was Uncle Shimshon Stock.
Your uncle was Uncle Shimshon Stock.
Uncle Shimshon Stock. That's right.
So we have over here Eli Gerstner and his Uncle Shimshon Stock.
That's my real claim to fame for music. I could say Uncle Shimshon. I don't know. I've been using the same doctor since I was a baby. My whole family, Dr. Feldman on President and Kingston. Even now, throat culture. I'm sitting there with a bunch of little babies sitting there crying, and I'm getting my throat culture by Dr. Feldman. I don't know. What's my connection? I have a lot of connections.
You have a lot of Lubavitch kids in the choir now, I think.
Yes. We gotta get the best. One way or another. Whenever you want to join. We'll let you know.
Who do I call?
Just you'll make the phone call.
In general, how does somebody actually join the choir?
How you join the choir?
Yeah.
Credit cards help.
Okay.
You know, no, you have to call the phone number on all the CDs, the EG production phone number, and it's obviously we look at the first thing we look at, believe it or not, before even the voice is the midas of a kid. You know, to see what kind of kid the kid is. You know, and Yossi Newman, who obviously does all the everything that has to do with the kids, and he has a very good eye and ear. And he sees it right away in a kid. If a kid's full of himself, or you know, we turn down so many kids that come in that are actually amazing, that come in and blow us away as far as voice and singing ability, but then you could see that they know it, and we turn them down, you know. And then there are some kids that people might say, "Oh, well, that kid is okay, you know, he's a little bit off over there. I heard him at concert; he's a little off." And we're proud of that kid because, you know, if you would know, that kid is a great kid, and he's great personality, and he's full of always doing chasadim and stuff like that. And that's what we want. We want the combination of the two, you know. And I don't know, which one do you fall into? Which category? Can you sing?
I don't know if this video wants me to start singing.
Okay, fine. You know, maybe for the Purim CD.
Oh.
We'll bring you in.
Are we going to have a Purim city?
Yeah, special for Purim. You know, just to listen to on Tisha B'Av. We'll
Okay.
put you and you'll sing the whole.
We'll do a
Sing
duet
both.
together.
Right, duet, right, exactly. Perfect.
Sounds good. But meantime, we have now the 5th Hanukkah album that's in store, available now. You can go out, you can pick up a copy, and you can hear all the Lubavitch kids and all the other kids that are out there now listening and singing to this YBC 5. Freilich and Hanukkah.
Yes, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And thank you, COLive, for having me. And yeah, hope you enjoy the CD.
I remember